YouTube, what's going on, man? It's your boy Xerxes coming back at you with another one. I just posted a video yesterday with my initial update for my Ice Strike Invoker, but I have made a ton of progress since then, and I want to kind of do like a full breakdown on some of the decisions that I made and kind of update everyone as far as why I made some of the choices that I made, because there's a lot of stuff that's different from yesterday's video. So what we're going to do first and foremost, got my favorite map here, Sandspit. We are up to T15 Waystones now, so I'm just going to chuck this in here and show you guys how the build is playing now versus how it was playing yesterday, and it's quite a bit different. So one thing that I would like for you guys to pay attention to is up here in the buff bar. You will see that I will have endurance charges and power charges pretty frequently, and then every once in a while I'll actually have some frenzy charges as well, right? And this is all coming from a couple of things. This is coming from resonance. So instead of gaining power charges, or instead of getting frenzies, I get powers. Instead of getting endurance, I get frenzy, and instead of getting power, I get endurance, right? So how do we go about getting these charges, right? So the first way is by sniper's mark. So every like 5 or 10 seconds or so, you'll just want to sniper's mark an enemy. Once you crit them, you'll get a frenzy charge, which will be turned into a let me see here. Frenzy charges get turned into power. And then the other thing that we're doing is using Killing Palm. And this will give us a power charge anytime that we kill an enemy with it. And the power charge will get turned into an endurance charge. So why are we doing all this, right? The reason why we're getting these charges is for this skill that we have right here, which is called charge regulation, right? So while we have a power charge, we have 25% more base crit, or 25% more crit, which is crazy. And then when we have an endurance charge, we get 19% more defenses. So damage and survivability from using this tech right here, okay? And then every once in a while, because we are using the skills, or the supports with these that have a chance to grant an additional charge of a random kind. So I believe it's charge profusion 2. This has a 15% chance to gain an additional random charge. So every once in a while you'll see me get a frenzy charge, and if that's the case, then we also get 14% more skill speed, right? So this is just an insane utility skill to have, and I swapped out Herald of Ice for this to make this work. So I'll go over all that later on, but just kind of wanted to give you an idea of why you might be seeing some charges up there and what they're doing, okay? So like I said, you'll want to sniper's mark an enemy once you crit them. See, I just got 3 charges right there just from that. And then if I Killing Palm and kill something, I'll get more charges, right? So it is important to keep up your charges throughout the map, because it's just giving you so much utility by keeping those charges up. And it's very easy too. Literally all you have to do is just pop a sniper's mark down every like 5 or 10 seconds, and you'll maintain your charges pretty easily. So one of the things that I did change too that I told you is I got rid of Herald of Ice. Because we're using Shattering Palm, we really just don't need Herald of Ice. It was kind of just overkill at that point, and I feel like the utility that you get out of using this tech right here is just so much more worth it, right? So, and as you can see too, since yesterday's video, oh hey, look, there's a dude, get wrecked, homie. In yesterday's video, we didn't have our final ascendancy, and now we do. So you'll see that there will be projectiles coming out, ice and lightning projectiles. So it just helps with the clear even more too. So that's another reason why I felt like Herald of Ice just kind of wasn't really super necessary anymore. Are there any? I don't see any over that way. Let's go this way. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I get close to these abysses, sometimes my FPS just goes into the tank, dude. It's so bad sometimes. And I need to swap out too to get freeze immune on one of my charms, because I wasn't getting frozen earlier on, but as I've moved up in Waystone rarity and height numbers, I'm getting frozen a little bit more, so probably going to swap out the rarity one for a freeze immune charm. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So once I started talking, I forgot to keep my charges up. That's one thing about this build too, is that it's very active. There's a lot of buttons to push. You got to maintain your charges, because if you don't, you're just leaving a bunch of damage and survivability on the table. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you like an active playstyle. Would highly recommend this build. It's super fun too. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but I love seeing monsters just absolutely blow the fuck up. And it's fast too, you know, like the mobility with the ice strike, dashing around all over the place. Once you turn on Unbound Avatar, you just turn into an absolute, like, it's almost like you're flicker striking around, you know. It's just a little bit slower and more controlled, but super fun. I love it. Perfect essence. Drop the hammer, or not the hammer, but the bell, and watch him go bye-bye. Bye-bye. There is a boss in this map. I don't know where it is. Oh, there's a Jeweler's Strongbox here. Let's see if we get lucky. Perfect, Jewelers. Give it to me. Give it to me. Oh, it's one of these ones. Okay, we will take it. Shit. The boss is not this way, is he? We killed all the rares. Okay, let's go see if we can find this Strider. Sorry, you guys are gonna have to bear with me here while I backtrack. I do not know where he is. Oh, he's all the way over here. All right. Well, we can talk about a little bit more while we're running over here. Yeah. So I realized in yesterday's video, like a dummy, I went over my gear, and then I went over my passage tree, but I didn't go over any skills that I was using. So wanted to just do an update and go over all the skills, because I realized that I left that out. Plus, like I said, a lot has changed since yesterday's video. So I probably could have just checkpointed over there too. I forgot about that mechanic, but yeah, oh well. So we have Unbound Avatar up for this fight too, which will be nice. So right when the boss becomes like targetable, you just pop Unbound Avatar, you Shattering Palm, Sniper's Mark, hit a couple times, Tempest Bell, and then the boss should die. Oh, is this that shark boss? Bring your ass over here. Of course, I have to fight a boss with phases. Will you just come out and let me attack you? So, T15 boss, by the way. And we had to, like, we wasted most of our Unbound Avatar because he was fucking phasing all over the place. But anyway, map done. Now, let's go over the gear first. Not a ton has changed, I don't think. This is still the same. I did get a new body armor that has some deflection rating. So I have deflection rating on my chest, on my gloves, and on my boots now. So as you can see, I believe we're at 57% evade with 51% deflect. So half the time we're going to be taking 40% less damage, which is actually pretty nice. I've noticed a big difference in survivability since I put these on. So got this. I did get a new amulet as well. Needed a little bit more spirit when I made this change. And I wanted to put cannibalism on too for even more life regain after I kill an enemy. Because in some of these abysses, you're killing so many monsters that you're pretty much getting shot right back up to full life once you blow a pack up. So cannibalism I noticed was nice, but I needed a little bit more spirit. So I got some life, energy shield, spirit, all res, and res. This thing, I think I paid 2 divines for this, and I think it was well worth it. Rings are still the same. One thing to note, I believe with my setup, the way that I currently have it, you will need an unset ring, just because I'm using so many different skills here that, yeah, I don't have any free skill slots, right? So an unset, one thing to note in there is that you'll probably need one of these. So yesterday I did end up killing Zesht and got Hands of Wisdom in action, and this is a pretty substantial damage increase, but I needed some more survivability and wanted some deflection and stuff, so I'm just going with this. But just note that if you have decent survivability, these are a very good choice for some damage. This staff is still the exact same one. I didn't even notice that these runes existed, but there's some like different runes that give higher numbers cold res. So Lady Hestra's Rune of Winter, you can just use the applicable one for whichever damage you're lowest on. For me, it was cold, and so this this is a 634 DPS staff with 14% crit chance. Pretty sick. I don't see myself replacing this one anytime soon. And the boots, I believe, are still the same too. Okay, so that covers the gear. Like I said, you probably should put a freeze immune flask on once you start getting up to higher waystones, but that's the gear. Passive tree. Did anything change over here? Oh, yes. I wanted to note too. Yesterday, I had forgotten that I took these nodes early on before I got this crit ignore Ellie res. So once you take this ascendancy, and you have a decent amount of crit, you're really not going to need this anymore. It would still apply to any non-crits that you do, but you're going to be critting. I think right now when I'm like fully buffed, it's about 75% of the time. So not worth it for those 3 points in my opinion. So I did unspec out of that. And then really the only other things that I did is I took these 2 points out of the attack damage and got the crit bonus here because I have so much crit chance now. Obviously I went up and got resonance when I made the switch to this new charge tech, which I think is pretty worth it. And then another thing that I did too was initially I went, I don't remember exactly where I went. I had some extra points. I think maybe I was going into dexterity when I was trying out the Hands of Wisdom in action. But I had like 4 points left, and I got rid of those, and I put them over here into this this mana wheel. So this is actually 8% damage taken from mana. So it's 8% damage reduction pretty much. And then we have so much mana leech that we're pretty much never on low mana. So this is just 15% attack speed, and then you get 4 more there. So it's 20% attack speed almost for these 4 points. And a little bit of damage mitigation. So I think that's very worth it. All right. Everything else on the tree is the same. And then obviously we went and got elemental expression here once we got our last ascendancy. And I did switch one of my cheap anoints for a little bit. It's not really pricey either, but Vulgar Methods, which just gives you a little bit more crit and some strength. Okay, so that goes over the passive tree. Now, the thing that I forgot to do yesterday is, let's go over the skills. Okay, so I'm almost level 90. And so my, at level 90 is when you get one more level to these skills as well. So once I hit 90, my Unbound Avatar will go up to level 20, and then it'll get buffed by the Lightning Mastery, which goes up to 21. So on Unbound Avatar, there's not a ton that you can support this with. You just want prolonged duration and +1 level. I don't think there's anything else really that works there. Elemental expression, I'm still tweaking some of these things to see exactly how they work. But on here, we're not getting very frequently, we're not getting the fiery explosion because they're based off of your stats. So the fiery explosion is based off your strength. The arcing bolt is based off your int, and the icy wave is based off of your dexterity. So most of the time we're going to be hitting the icy wave, and then we still actually hit the arcing bolt quite a bit. But on here we have more crit chance with pinpoint critical. I'm not sure about these, by the way, so just take that with a grain of salt. I'm still working on testing some of these. Ellie focus, so they can't inflict elements or ailments. This one might be bad too. I'm not 100% sure. Retreat, this one deals 30% more proj damage when we've hit with a melee attack in the last 2 seconds, which we're always hitting with melee attacks. So there's just 30% more damage. And then extra proj for multi-shot dose. Okay. Wave of Frost, I'm using this basically if I ever get into like a pinch and I need to like escape and freeze enemies. This, like, with the exception of some high like tanky rares, this will pretty much insta freeze everything. So if you're in a bind and you need to like get away, you basically just hit this, you'll backflip away from wherever your cursor is, right? So it gives you a little dash and then freeze everything that's over here. So it gives you a way to escape. And in here we just have magnified area with ice bite, freeze, and elemental armament 2. Shattering Palm, this is basically how we like proliferate a bunch of cold explosions. In here we have blind, so as soon as I hit something and kill it, it explodes in a big area and blinds everything around it. So it's just a way to get some more evasion, or basically in practice more evasion, right? Less chance to get hit. This is more area of effect with this. This says 80% less accuracy rating, but we don't worry about that because this says can't be evaded. Okay, so Accuracy doesn't matter. And then just rapid attacks for some more attack speed so we can dash faster. Wind Dancer in here obviously is for more evasion. And then in here, like I was mentioning earlier, we have Cannibalism. So this paired with this point right here. So this is 3% life on kill, and then this is 2%, right? So we have, whenever we kill an enemy, we're getting 5% of our life back. So if you kill 10 enemies in a pack, you just got 50% of your life back, which is huge. And we have Maim on here too. So if this is just for, if anything procs Wind Dancer, there is a burst that happens around you. This right here. Knocks back enemies, explosion radius is 1.6 meters. So anytime that something hits you and it triggers your Wind Dancer, you're going to make it to where you slow them, and believe they have less evasion rating as well. Yes, okay. Ice Strike, the bread and butter. Look at that damage, boys, 58k, hell yeah. So we have rapid attacks for some attack speed, LE armament for more attack damage. Close combat, you're pretty much always going to be within 1 meter of the enemies because it's a melee build. And then Crescendo, so this basically makes it so, if you guys don't know, Ice Strike is like a 3-part attack. So it goes 1, 2, 3, and then that big third one is like a big sweeping attack that does more damage. So for Crescendo, that third attack is ancestrally boosted, which means it does 30% more damage, has 25% AoE, and attacks 2 additional enemies. So just a lot more damage on that third hit, okay? And then we're just using Cold Mastery on here for +1 level. So once I get a level 20 gem, this will actually go up to 21. Tempest Bell, this we have increased AoE. When you hit this, there will be like a circle around it that it does like damage in that area. So more area there is always good. This will give us 5 rage on hit in conjunction with the 2 jewels that I have, actually, that I forgot to go over with. One of these, this just like dropped when I was doing a trial, which is pretty sick. It's attack damage, melee damage, and rage on hit. And then this one down here is lightning damage, chance to shock, Herald skills deal more damage, and chance to blind on hit with attacks, right? So pretty solid jewels there. And then with this, so we're getting 1 rage on hit from just basic anything that we hit that's an attack. And then with the bell, when we hit the bell, we get 5 rage every hit. So it'll take 2 hits basically to get up to 10 if you're not there already, if you have like 0 rage. But through mapping, you're going to be continuously getting rage anyway. But the point of this is that you can use Rage Forged to, once you have 10 rage, it will consume that rage, and then you'll get it back in 2 hits anyway, so it's not even a big deal. But you'll be dealing 35% more damage. And elemental armament here too. We pretty much put elemental armament on every attack that we can possibly put it on. Herald of Thunder, this we have with LE Focus. So again, not sure if this is worth it, just more damage. It might be better to put something on there that actually makes it to where it can inflict ailments, but I'm going to test that out. Increased area, LE armament again. And then this is another one that I'm working, testing and seeing if it's worth. It's hard to tell just because there's so much going on. But I think it's nice to have some form of coal in there just because there's so many big packs. With this procking, it gets rid of some of those stragglers. And then Ghost Dance we have here just to make it so that when we get hit, we get a certain % of our evasion back as ES, which as you can see now, we actually have a little bit more life in ES than we did yesterday. So we're at like 18 and 6, 24, about 2,400 total, which is still low. But, you saw me in the video. My life hardly ever went down. So take it for what it is, right? And then this, you want less duration on this. This actually makes it to where you gain Ghost Shrouds more frequently, okay? Charge regulation I went over, so we're just getting 25% more crit hit chance and 19% more defenses, which is evasion, energy shield, and armor, right? Which we don't really have any armor, but evasion and energy shield, 19% more is pretty solid. And then, like I said, you'll have a chance every once in a while to gain some frenzy charges, so that's even more skill speed when that does proc. Sniper's Mark, like I said, is there just to give us the frenzy charge. And in here, we have a chance to gain additional charge and cooldown recovery, so we can use Sniper's Mark more frequently. And the last thing is Killing Palm. This is how we generate our power charges. And same thing here. This gives us more chance to generate additional charges. Here we have rapid attacks with Elite Armament and ancestrally boost Ancestral Call. So this is a strike skill, right? So this makes it to where every 3 seconds when we use this, we're going to be doing more AoE, and we're going to be striking 2 additional targets. So the reason for this is just that it's nice when you Killing Palm into like a pack. There might be one enemy that's not low in there that you don't kill, but there's an enemy next to them that is kind of low, and so you kill them since you strike two additional enemies. So that's the reasoning behind having Ancestral Call on there. Okay, that covers pretty much everything, I believe. If you're interested in the MTX, because I think this is a pretty dope MTX. This is the what do you call it? This is the Arachnimagus set, and then I just have the Divergence character effect on there. So pretty cool look, I thought. All right. Anyway, guys, video lasted a little bit longer than I would have liked, but hopefully that gives you guys a pretty clear update on where the build's at right now. Going to be pushing into some T16 maps and trying to find some citadels. And if I make any more changes to the build, I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Peace out.